Vardaan 1. The Ultimate Boon. Written by Mr. Deepak Sadia. Chapter 17. Now what are you waiting for? A deserted village looked even more deserted in the darkness of the night. Even humans, dogs, and cats were not visible in the village. 4 sadhus, monks, were roaming in the village with their faces covered and going to every house begging for alms. Neither there was any sound coming from any house, nor was the light of a lamp visible in any house. The 3 sadhus prayed to a sadhu to find out the villagers. The sadhu removed the cloth from his face, went to a corner and sat down. That sadhu was a Rasik. Rasik closed his eyes and started looking inside himself to find the villagers. After a while, he opened his eyes smiling. Rasik made a strange sound from his throat and a mouse came out after digging into the ground. "Where can I drop you off?" the mouse asked politely. Hearing that, the rest of the sadhus started laughing. Slowly they started laughing louder. The clothes were removed from their faces while laughing. Those 3 were Batuk, Jagdish and Dev. Rasik was not bothered by their derision. He kept looking at his friends smiling. When Rasik's smile did not diminish, the laughter of the friends stopped. "Mice, please take us to the pond," Rasik said with folded hands. Hearing so, the rat immediately dug a new pit and went into it. Seeing that, the friends started laughing while lying on the ground. That time even the Rasik was disappointed. The very next moment, many rats came out after digging the ground around the friends. Friends were taken aback and Rasik was relieved. Due to the subsidence of the surrounding land itself, the land where Rasik's friends were standing sank. Jagdish Batuk, standing in the crater-like ground, said, "Rasik ki jai." But Dev was still making fun of him. "Will you guys ride on the rats?" When Dev asked, Batuk Jagdish also started laughing. Distressed, Rasik pleaded with folded hands while looking at the rats. The rats thought for a while and went to the kitchen of a house and brought flour, then quickly made a chariot out of that flour. "It is raw." One mouse had just said that the other mouse set the chariot on fire. When the fire cooled down, the chariot was cooked. The 3 friends were surprised to see the magnificent chariot in front, and the Rasik was proud. The rats respectfully invited Rasik on that chariot. Rasik immediately boarded that chariot. The rats took a rope, tied themselves in front of the chariot, and threw the rope toward Rasik. Rasik jumped in the air, caught hold of the rope, and looked at his friends proudly while staying in the air. "Want to go for a ride?" When Rasik asked, all 3 happily agreed. The rats took the 4 friends and quickly brought the chariot near the pond. "Why are we here?" Dev asked. Instead of answering, Rasik jumped into the water. All 3 also jumped after him. After going deep into the water, he saw all the villagers. They were all sitting in the water nervously. Everyone started crying after seeing Rasik and started praying to him for help. All 3 friends also started praying for Rasik. Rasik thought for a while. He saw that the people were hungry. So he took out the food items from his bag. First satisfy the hunger and then think what to do next. Saying so, Rasik jumped up and tossed the food items toward the hungry and weak villagers. Before the things could reach the villagers, suddenly aquatic creatures came from somewhere and went away with everything. Saying, "No problem, I have more." Saying so, Rasik again threw the food items toward the people, and again the aquatic creatures came and took away all the food items. "Hey Rasikananda ji, you should go near to people and give them things." Lightly angry, Dev said while praying. Dev waved his hand and explained what he was doing. Instead of apologizing to Dev, Rasik smiled at him as if saying, "I am the great Rasikananda. Who are you to teach me my work?" Rasik tried again, and the aquatic creatures did the same again. "Hey Rasikananda ji, call people near you and give them." Jagdish pleaded with folded hands. At that time also Rasik did not listen to his friends. Rasik threw things with more force. The aquatic creatures carried everything away with the same agility. The happiness in the eyes of the villagers used to come every time, and also went away every time. Rasik kept on trying, and every time the efforts went in vain. Where do they come from? Rasik spoke angrily. Rasikananda ji, if you have to throw, so throw it properly. You are not throwing it well, Jagdish said his mistake. Hearing so, Rasik aimed as if he was an archer. Yet his next attempt also failed. Hey, how hungry are you guys? At least leave some for the poor villagers. Rasik shouted. Hey, you don't feel like throwing it? If we did not force you, then you would have left the king's palace after finishing the delicious dishes. Batuk said teasingly. Batuk was horrified to see his secret being exposed. Is it true? The villagers asked in a panic. Oh no, friend, Batuk is making fun of me, Rasik replied nervously. All of you keep calm down please. The Pradhanacharya Kripasan has sent us only to serve you. So please have faith in the great Rasikananda. Dev pacified the villagers by saying. The villagers started talking among themselves about when Kripasan became the Pradhanacharya. When everyone calmed down after some time, Dev signaled to Rasik, give them food immediately. Rasik tried again, and the aquatic creatures licked everything again. Rasik kept throwing, and aquatic creatures kept eating. Friends and villagers kept watching all that. Rasik would throw faster than before, and the aquatic creatures also come quicker than before. All of a sudden Rasik woke up. He was woken up by Dev. Dev said that he was moving his hands and feet in his sleep. I had a very strange dream, Rasik said in a panic. Tell me something new. I haven't seen a single normal dream since coming to this mound. What are girls? I have completely forgotten this. A few centuries ago I had a dream of a girl. After that, only you three appear in my dreams. Dev expressed his pain while getting upset. Batuk was looking at both of them in astonishment. She was not a girl but a teenager. You told me. Rasik made Dev realize his mistake. You saw this Batuk, this fool was not leaving me even in that dream. Instead of saying, my friend, you should tell her your feelings, he was saying you should tell her that I cannot marry before the completion of Gurukul's education. Hey, let me do something in my dreams that I can't do in reality. Dev said, almost crying. Rasik was ashamed of the mistake he had made in Dev's dream. Batuk came and encouraged Dev. Hey Batuk, you never told your dreams. Jagdish has also narrated his dreams. He also does not see anyone except the four of us in his dreams. But you never told me anything. Rasik said in surprise. Dev was also surprised to hear that. I hear a woman's voice in my dreams, maybe she is a girl, don't know who it is, what it is, that's all I hear. If I say that there are ghosts on this mound, then you people will separate me from yourselves by accusing me of insulting the teachings of Gurukul. That's why I keep quiet. There are no ghosts in Gurukul, but they do exist in the outside world. Especially in such deserted places. I think there will be a ghost village on this mound that we have disturbed. That's why all that is happening to all of us. But neither you people, nor the acharyas of the Gurukul will accept this. That's why I remain silent. Matashari says that one silence means 100 happy moments. Batuk was continuously saying also in his mind, but he did not utter a word from his mouth. Rasik Dev was watching him. Unaware of that, Batuk was in his dream world. No need to dream in his sleep, he can dream while awake. Rasik laughed out loud when Dev told his assessment. Batuk's attention was distracted by Rasik's laughter. No, I don't dream, said Batuk, lying for the first time. Immediately, Batuk realized that he had lied for the first time after becoming a student of Gurukul. Embarrassed, Batuk started looking for a place to hide as if his friends had come to know about his lie. Where is Jagdish? By asking, Dev pulled everyone's attention from the world of dreams and brought them to the real world. Everyone found Jagdish lying in his field. When they went closer, they came to know that Jagdish was not just lying down, he wanted to inhale the fragrance of soil in his soul. Batuk did not understand anything, but seeing Jagdish, he also sat in his field. Rasik found that to be mere foolishness. Unlike Rasik, Dev understood that Jagdish was doing something special. Thinking, Dev also went to his field and while walking started to guess what is necessary for the field now. Whatever pebble he found while walking, he would throw it out. Dev came to Batuk's attention. He saw that Dev was busy clearing his field further. That's why he also started sorting pebbles from his field. Sorting pebbles seemed like a waste of time to Rasik. The field is ready, what are you waiting for? Finish the work by sowing the seeds. Rasik said in his mind and went to the cottage. Batuk had come to the field just because he saw Jagdish was present in Jagdish's field. Then he started picking pebbles like a Dev. At last he saw Rasik who was going to the cottage, so he felt that Rasik must be planning to do something important that will be beneficial for the farm. Ready to follow Rasik too, Batuk started watching Rasik carefully. Thinking his friends were mere fools, Rasik went inside and picked up all the seeds of his share. Yes, Rasik was all set to clear his final exam. Hey, I don't even know how to sow. If I ask them, they will make fun of me. I wish I would have paid attention in Acharya Atmarama's class. Rasik stopped thinking. Rasik saw the seeds and immediately made a new plan. He divided the seeds into 4 parts and proudly returned to his field with the seeds of the first part. Before Dev could say anything to him, Rasik sprinkled all the seeds in the field. Dev got very angry. But he calmed down, thinking that as always he would learn from the policy of mistake correction. But this time he was afraid that this policy might force Rasik to repent. Seeds are not sprinkled, they are sown, and even I know this too. Rasik is the most foolish person on the earth, how he even call himself a scientist? Batuk said in his mind. After that Batuk went to Jagdish. Jagdish, the field is ready, why don't we sow now? Batuk, I am waiting for the right time. The right time has not come yet. Jagdish said while throwing the new stone that was in his hand. Batuk did not know what the right time was, or when the right time would come. All he knew was that by imitating Jagdish he would pass his exams. So Batuk returned without asking any further questions. After lunch, when everyone was relaxing, the sound of birds disturbed their rest. They were happy to hear the chirping of birds on the same mound which till that day they had not heard even the sound of a small insect. They could not believe their eyes, because for so long they had not seen anyone other than themselves. They felt very strange seeing so many birds in front of them that day, yet all of them were happy. The sound of the birds seemed to be melodious music. But why are these birds only in my field? Is this a miracle of Mother Nature? Does Mother Nature want to say that I am very special? Rasik said proudly. I am not sure about you, but your farm is definitely a special one. Dev scoffed. At first, Rasik did not understand his mockery. The movement he understood, the color of his face went away. He ran into the field shouting at the birds. In the hot afternoon, he was blowing the birds away from his farm, but the birds were busy cleaning each seed scattered by him. All 3 enjoyed the condition of the scientist friend. When there was nothing left in the field, the birds willingly flew away. Wicked creatures, do you think I had opened a restaurant here? Rasik shouted, but did not desist from his antics. However, every day Rasik remembered his strange dream. Every day he felt that he was acting as stupid as the dream, but still he did not stop. In the next 10 days, Rasik lost all his seeds by doing 3 new experiments. By the end of the last part, he understood how to do sowing, but now he also got the basic knowledge that sowing does not happen without seeds. Rasik sat down with his mouth hanging. The 11th noon suddenly fell. All 4 looked at the sky with surprise, and found that there was a possibility of rain. Lightning struck and it started raining. Batuk looked at Jagdish with immense happiness. Jagdish and Dev were enjoying the rain. Looking at both of them, it seemed that they were not interested in sowing. Losing patience, Batuk thought that he would do the sowing himself. But within a short while his hands moving towards the seeds stopped, seeing the sad face of Rasik. Batuk didn't want his condition to be like that of Rasik. He controlled his excitement and started pretending to enjoy the rain with a dull mindset. Jagdish and Dev had a real apprehension, which turned out to be true. The rain stopped within a few moments, and for the next 4 days not even a drop fell. Batuk was very happy. His little ignorance was about to become a big mistake. Rasik indirectly saved him. The next morning no one saw Dev. He came after sunrise. "Have you come after visiting the mound?" When Rasik asked, Dev said yes. "What happened, Dev? Are you thinking something?" Jagdish asked. "We can't rely on rain. We have to make permanent arrangements for water," Dev said firmly. Jagdish felt as if Dev had spoken his mind. "Even I was thinking the same. I also went around, but did not understand anything." "What do you say?" Jagdish asked. "I am also disappointed. It seems that water will have to be brought from the same river," Dev said, expressing his frustration. Batuk's mind started to panic after hearing this. "It takes you half a day to bring only 3 kalash of water. The idea of irrigating the fields from there would be very foolish," Rasik told his assessment. "So will all the hard work go to waste?" came out suddenly from the mouth of the frightened Batuk. Dev's first reaction confirmed Batuk's fears. Sadly he looked at Jagdish, and Jagdish also bowed his head. At last, he was about to look at Rasik, when he remembered that it did not matter to Batuk whether it rained or not, because Rasik had lost all his seeds. Batuk was overwhelmed with grief. Today he understood the meaning of a proverb. "Hoth to aaya mun na laga." I got it, but couldn't eat it. When Dev saw his sad friends, he immediately remembered what such desperation had done last time. So he started straining his mind. After about an hour, Dev regrouped the friends. "We might not be able to do anything, but Rasik, you are a scientist. Suggest us any kind of solution," Dev asked. It seemed full of stupidity to Batuk. Before Rasik could reply, Batuk spoke. "He has no seed left, so why would he find a solution? Nothing can be done now." Saying this with great sadness, Batuk turned away and started leaving. Dev and Jagdish were shocked to hear Batuk's words. When they looked at Rasik with doubt, they found that even Rasik did not agree with Batuk. "Batuk, this is absolutely true that everyone is taking their personal exam. It is also true that we are rivals, but the bigger truth is that we are human beings and also friends, true friends. Even if I forget all the noble teachings of Gurukul for a moment, but friendship, how can I forget that?" Rasik got emotional and said. Batuk stopped. He could not muster the courage to look at Rasik. He realized that he had unknowingly doubted the friendship of Rasik. "Yeah, I don't have seeds, but it's just the truth of this year. Next year I will have seeds. Your crops will be seeds for me," Rasik said firmly. "Next year?" Batuk said in surprise, looking into Rasik's eyes. Rasik came and put his hands on his shoulders. "Heard right, friend, next year. This year it is not possible. This year has not been mine. But next year will be mine. I am a Shisha of Gurukul. I will not let the name of Gurukul be tarnished. This Rasikananda will leave this mound when his field is green. This was Gurudev's order, and this is also my vow, no matter how long it takes to fulfill it." Hearing the words Rasik once again, everyone was feeling proud of him. "My friend, we'll all go home together," those words were visible in the eyes of Jagdish and Dev. Batuk was more ashamed of himself than proud of Rasik. "Let's think of something, there must be something for us on this mound." Saying Rasik, he went ahead, and all 3 followed him. That day Rasik's eyes were not looking at the mound from the point of view of an examinee. At that time he was a scientist. Past experiences started coming to his mind, and he stopped at one place. It took Jagdish 3 days to dig a small hole, but Batuk dug many pits to store water in one afternoon. When Rasik said, everyone started remembering. Everyone found Rasik's words to be true. The land which took more than 100 days for Jagdish to make a field, the same land was turned to dust by a slacker like me within just 60 days, Rasik explained his assessment with mild surprise. That thing surprised everyone more. Rasik, it is surprising but it is true, Dev said in surprise. If my calculations are correct, the mound gets less hard as it goes down. Guessing, Rasik said. If it is true, then what is the plan, Rasik? Jagdish asked impatiently. Friends, look at that place, we will make a pond there. Rasik pointed to one side and said. Dev thought for a while, and a smile appeared on his face. Pundit ji, take my bow. By the way, you see the benefit of my association. Apart from eating, you also started using your mind, Dev said and ran away. Stop there, you wicked. Saying, Rasik ran after him. So the problem was hypothetically solved. The scientist had given his advice, and now it was time to act on the advice, so immediately the four friends started digging the pond. In 4 days the pond started looking good. Dev asked Rasik and Batuk to build a stone wall on the banks of the pond, and he continued digging with Jagdish. On the 6th day, it started raining. No one paid attention to the rain and kept on digging. When the wall was completed, Batuk's eyes went to the pond, which was starting to fill up. He saw that water was flowing from 2 sides of the mound and collecting in their dug pond. He now understood the reason why Rasik had chosen that place for the pond. Batuk shouted and drew everyone's attention toward the pond. When everyone saw it, they were pleased. Do you think it will continue to rain, Jagdish? Dev asked excitedly. The sky is completely black and the wind is not blowing at all. If it rains, it should continue, Rasik. If it continues to rain, can the pond be a quarter full by evening? Answering Dev, Jagdish loudly asked Rasik standing far away. Rasik assessed. Quarter, if the blessings of the clouds remain till the night, then in the morning the pond will be full, Rasik replied enthusiastically. It means it is the right time, Dev said, and all 4 returned to the hut. All 3 went inside, but Rasik stayed outside because he did not have any seeds. Dev and Jagdish divided their seeds into 4 parts and put each part in Rasik's cloth and came out. Batuk also separated a few and reached for Rasik's cloth of seeds. Jagdish knows to farm, Dev has learned. But what about me? No, I wanted to help, but what if the Pradhanacharya picked the deficiency in my crop? No, now I can't wait for another year to go home. Sorry, Rasik, I don't have the same courage as you. After thinking, Batuk came out without putting the seed in Rasik's clothes. All 3 were sowing seeds. The scene was unwittingly troubling Rasik, as it reminded him of his follies. When he could not tolerate it any more, he returned to the hut. All 3 returned after sowing and found Rasik sleeping. Dev forcibly lifted Rasik and turned his attention toward the seeds. Hey, where did they come from? Surprised, asked Rasik happily. After seeing your antics, we had to hide it from your sight. Otherwise, you would have wasted them too. Jagdish spoke. Rasik happily got up and went to sow the seeds. When Dev saw Jagdish, Jagdish immediately apologized for his lie. We could have told him the truth, Dev spoke. He doesn't take this help, and in his affair I don't want to spend another year on this mound, because without him I'm not going to leave this mound, Jagdish told his truth. But a lie is a lie, Dev said angrily. Jagdish apologized again. I think Dev is right. What if he starts experimenting with seeds again? If he knew you helped him by giving him the seeds, he might not think of doing any more experiments. Batuk spoke. No, he's not that crazy, Jagdish said in an attempt to hush up the matter. I don't think so. He can do whatever he wants with the seeds of his right, Dev said with slight nervousness. All 3 ran out of an unwanted sense of fear. Batuk's words turned out to be correct. After sowing half the seeds, it occurred to Rasik's mind that if he did not do one last experiment, there would be unrest in his mind. So he did a new experiment with half the seeds. He is not going to improve, Batuk said angrily. Mistakes and corrections. Are all scientists mad? Dev asked out of surprise. Stealing his eyes from both, Jagdish cursed Rasik a lot. The rain continued for 2 more days. Their pit-like fields were also filled with water and the pond was also filled. Batuk and Rasik were happy that their stone fence was working.